A man is behind bars tonight after abducting and sexually assaulting a young girl in a local park. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Sonia Shrivastava.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, a 6-year-old girl's parents are counting their blessings tonight after finding their daughter safe. The child was abducted and assaulted on Monday, but a quick-moving officer was able to track the girl down and arrest the man who allegedly took her. Denise Douglas has the full story.
It's a parent's worst nightmare, a child being taken. Well, that's what police say 25-year-old Charles Amafa did not once, but twice. In this surveillance video from the Value Village thrift store in Lewisdale, Amafa is seen in a yellow shirt walking out the store with the little girl behind him back in July.
Advised her that he wanted her to come outside and meet his manager, where the girl followed him outside. At that point, she continued to follow him around the building.
Amafa allegedly took her to an abandoned area where he tried to assault her. Luckily, she was able to fight him off and run back to the store.
The parent did advise officers. There was a secondary officer working there.
Then police say he went back to the thrift store again on Monday, where he found another little girl and lured her outside.
A father came to me and seemed a little worried. He couldn't locate his daughter. At this point, we began a search of the store.
Officer Fredis Castro Rivas was working off-duty at the store when the 6-year-old girl disappeared. After not finding her in there, he jumped into his car to search the area.
I saw a small silhouette, which appeared to be the same description I have received from the father. The only thing I wanted to do at that time was get to that individual who was holding the hand of the little silhouette.
Less than a mile away in a park where she was assaulted, the little girl was found with the suspect. Officer Rivas says she was clearly shaken as the man was arrested.
All she had in her eyes were nothing but tears, and the only thing coming out of her mouth was, "I want my daddy, I want my daddy."
Denise Douglas, CTV News.
And the girl's parents issued a statement thanking police and customers at the store who helped in the search. They say they are trying to put the tragedy behind them.
Well, tomorrow, Maryland lawmakers will be back in Annapolis for a special legislative session on statewide gaming expansion. Governor Martin O'Malley has submitted legislation that would authorize the casino in Prince George's and Vegas-style table games at all Maryland slots locations. According to some reports, the bill also includes new marketing allowance for casino operators, which would provide compensation for the new competition created by a sixth gaming venue. If the legislation is approved, the provisions will be put to a statewide vote in November.
And on the eve of the special session, the governor says he's, quote, so sick of the gambling debate. O'Malley made those comments earlier today to reporters, adding that he's optimistic that the General Assembly wants to move beyond the issue. The special session, which begins tomorrow in the Senate and Friday in the House, will consider a plan that would add a new casino in Prince George's. Delegate Heather Mazier has been trying to gather enough votes to fight the measure.
I've been talking to several of my colleagues who are either on the fence or trying to figure out how to stay firm on their no votes. And I think that it's going to be difficult for them to find 71, but I don't ever discount the ability to find votes in the hunt in the last few minutes. In 2007, when we were taking up the issue of gaming to begin with, it looked like they weren't going to get 71, and they ended up pulling it out. Marriage equality, a lot of folks didn't think we would get to 71. We pulled it out at the very end. So counting votes is a tough business in this game, but I do think it's going to be a challenge for them to get to the magic number in order to be able to move this forward. That's my hope anyway.
And under the plan, Las Vegas-style table games would also be added at Maryland's 5 existing slots locations.
And meanwhile, Comptroller Peter Franchot says he is concerned that the session, the third this year, will impact confidence in government. On the eve of what will be the second special session in less than 3 years, the state's chief financial officer sent a letter to the heads of both the House and the Senate. Franchot is calling on all General Assembly members to voluntarily disclose all contributions from local gaming interests. He says this will provide transparency against critics who say that the session is more about special interest money than jobs.
The Old Line State can now register voters and update address information over the internet. Maryland is one of only 13 states with online voter registration in place or approved by state lawmakers. Residents with a valid driver's license or ID card can register by logging on to elections.state.md.us. The voter registration deadline is October 16th. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Sonia Travassos.